right, welcome everyone to the Monday Night Health Coach Huddle. My name is Dawn Carpenter. This meeting is a place where we can stay connected with our health coach family and showcase what health coaching looks like in real time. Please invite people who are interested in becoming healthier and desire to help others. This meeting is recorded and will be posted on our Optimal Health Coach Facebook group. Don't forget to bring your notebook and your pen so you can take notes. Thanks, Greg. Now we want to welcome any first-time guests. So if you are a first-time guest, please feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand and we can do that for you. Do we have any new peeps?
It looks like a bunch of veterans.
I think it's a bunch of awesome friends. I love this. Yeah, so everybody is here together. So thankful that you made the time to be here, everybody. So we're just going to talk really quickly about last week's action step. If you were with us, we made a list of 5 people who were on our heart. And then your action was to take the recorded sheet and write down their names and just be really intentional about connecting with them. So I'm kind of curious about anybody who actually, is there anybody who actually printed out the sheet and wrote names on it? Anybody? One body? 2 bodies? Awesome. Is there anybody who thought about those 5 names and maybe did something intentional to connect with those people this week? Awesome. Yeah. Don Weber, you want to share what you did?
Sure. 2 of the people on there were my sisters, and both of them are wanting to lose weight, but they, think they can do it on their own, just like I used to. And so I texted both of them and just called my one sister because she lives down in Texas and talked with her for about an hour, just letting her bare her soul and letting her know I love her and that, that connection so that she doesn't, forget I love her. She's struggling right now with some anxiety and stuff. And so it hurts my heart to see, because she's my older sister and she's always been my hero. And so anyway, and then my other sister, Laura, she just lives in Post Falls, and we try to get together a lot, but it doesn't happen that much, unfortunately. But I texted her, and she was on spring break last week, and I didn't have any time off, and her and her husband went camping. So we just chatted a few things back and forth on on texting, just to let her know, again, I love her and that I'm there for her if she ever wants to do anything about losing weight, because she knows I've already approached both of them about this plan, and they see how well it's worked for me, but they aren't ready to make that leap.
Awesome, Dawn. Exactly. That's exactly what we talked about, was just reaching out and letting people know you care. So anyone, we have time for a couple more? Anyone else intentionally reach out to somebody? Go ahead, Juan.
Wait, who are you talking to?
I guess it's me.
Yep.
You mean Jose? Not Juan. Okay.
I'm sorry, Jose.
Juan, Carlos,
Oh,
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I didn't have the names up, but I'm terribly forgetful.
Just
I had of the 5 names I've got to talk to 2 of the people. The 3rd one didn't show up. We had a family meeting. I traveled 3 hours to Miami from west coast of Florida to the east coast. I spoke to my brother and my sister about Optavia again. They're very interested. However, they just spent $19,000 on 26 panels of solar power trying to retrofit their home to be energy efficient. So as soon as my sister's a math whiz, as soon as they're done with their taxes and what they call that, tax exempt or energy efficient home exemptions that they have, and all the filing is done, hopefully we'll gently get them re-involved. They were in Take Shape for Life in the past. they did it. They committed to it. However, they had some issues with the packaging and delivery, and they felt like they were wasting a lot of money. And this time, I reassured them that I would do everything that I could to make sure that whatever they got was not damaged. And I know from being a leader that sometimes you have to bite the bullet, take the hit on certain items, and keep the momentum going.
Awesome.
My goal is to get my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law healthy. And my brother-in-law's daughter she had a stomach band operation, and it worked for about a season, and then she went back to being the size that she was before the operation. That's where my heart is. And so I'm still working on it. And I'm still looking forward to reaching out to my family. That's it.
Awesome. So show me with a thumbs up if you at least sent like a messenger message out to somebody to say hi. Okay. Yeah. Show me 2 thumbs up if you just send a text message out to say hi to somebody you haven't talked to for a while. Okay, awesome. That's exactly what we're talking about. It's just making those intentional connections so that people know that we care and we're building those relationships. So Craig, I'm going to toss it over to you. I know we've got a ton to celebrate tonight.
We do. Yes, we sure do. Thank you, Dawn. It's on the leadership call, they said a couple of things, both Dan Valentine, JC Dornick, and Becca Tinter said some amazing things. And they says, do you want to be healthier and wealthier? And if you think about that, if you were to ask people on the street one of those questions, I think the answer is, well, everybody wants to be a little wealthier and a little healthier, maybe even a lot. And those are the things that this can provide for people that want. And then I also like this other one that they said, we have a program and a system that actually works. I think we take it for granted because there's so many things out there that are gimmicks and they don't really have the full meal deal. It's like you need to travel somewhere and you get a set of tires. It's like, no, I need the whole car actually to get there. Right. And so our program has the whole thing. It's been well thought through. And so I'm super excited. The other thing I wanted to talk about, we're doing now is it's called Jumpstart. And Jumpstart is where we essentially talk about the successes that happened the previous month to jumpstart this coming month. And one of the things that happens in the process of doing that is you'll be inspired by other people's progress. One thing that Terry Miller said, and I don't know if it was her original quote, but it said, a rising tide raises all ships. And so as people become successful, I know Irving's now, he's down this week with his dad. His dad's not doing very well health-wise. And but when Irving came on board and started really growing, it inspired a lot of you. Inspired me. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm like, what's up, Irv? I'm trying to keep up, man. It just was like, it was so exciting. And so that's what I love about all the success that's happened. The other thing that I wanted to point out is there's a couple people that have become coaches tonight that have been attending our Monday night meeting for a little while. And they're getting warmed up to what we do here. And they pulled the trigger recently. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to warm up to what we do because it's kind of different. You have to figure out, what is this all about? What are these people doing? All that kind of stuff. And so I would encourage you guys to do the same thing. Invite people that you think would be additive, that would be fun to hang out with, that would add something to this, or people that maybe need a little bit of what we offer, and invite them to tune in. So we're going to jump in. I got a little presentation all prepared for y'all. So let me jump over to that and see if it works. Let's see here. Play. Now, the question is, do you guys see a big screen with Jumpstart on it? You do. So the graphics, we paid lots of money for these graphics, by the way. That was a joke. Thanks. Thanks for laughing. So I want to start off with a little bit about ranks, because this last week, as I was talking to some people that were getting very close to their goals, had a couple, they were like, oh, don't I need to have a senior coach to get to manager? And I was like, no, you need 2 points. And so I want to make sure you guys have an idea of what this means. When you start off as a coach, you're just enough to be a coach, right? The goal is to move to senior coach. Senior coach for you means you have 5 clients and $1,200 in frontline volume. You can see that down here on the left. And senior coach also means 1 point, right? So now at the top here, 1 point can be 1,200 in frontline volume, or 1,200 in frontline volume and 5 clients, or a senior coach on your team. So there's 2 ways to get to manager. One is you take 1,200 times 2. That'll get you there. Or you could have 1,200 in frontline volume and then bring on a senior coach. So a coach that helps 5 people. That will get you to 2 points. Anybody want to take a stab at what are some ways you could get to associate director? Anybody want to unmute and raise their hand, and that's maybe newer? Anyone? Don Weber. I knew you wanted to volunteer. I love that about you. Let me unmute you. You can unmute yourself. So if you wanted to get to 3 points, what are some ways that you could get there?
Well, I have on my paper asking, how do you, at the other meeting, the guy was talking about how you become a senior coach. I'm like going, I don't even know how to do that. So I'm not sure I can answer that.
No,
I do now. I know how now because you just said it.
Right.
But I would guess probably 3 times 1,200, or maybe a senior coach. I mean, it's just got to multiply by.
Right. Yeah. So you could have 2,400 in frontline volume and a senior coach, right? You could get to that way. Or you could just be a senior coach and bring on 2 senior coaches. That'd get you 3 points, right? So they have this thing called blend. Thank you, Dawn. Well done. I'm glad that we answered that question, and I'm glad that, well, at least it was understandable to one person. Maybe that's it. But usually you come on board, we don't bring on coaches. We bring on senior coaches, because someone that just pays $200 to be a coach and doesn't help anybody doesn't help anybody. That sounds redundant, but so our goal is to bring on people that want to help people and find people. There's plenty of them out there. Just connect your desire and their need, and boom, you have a connection. And so we want to bring on people and help them get to senior coach. So excellent. And then usually you start with getting to senior coach, and then you move to executive director in a blended fashion. So that's a few clients and maybe a senior coach. It's there's some different ways to get there. But so that's defining ranks. And if there's some questions, we'll answer those here in a minute. But what I want to talk about next is, what does that even mean? These ranks, that's a terrible thing. New coaches. That's what I was supposed to do. I didn't pay enough for these graphics. So we've got some new coaches that are on our team. Cassandra Gooley, she's here tonight, right? She's been attending. She was one of those people that was showing up. Dawn Weber, boom. You just heard from Dawn a minute ago. She's a very good student, listens well. And then Melanie Brennan. Melanie came on a couple weeks ago. Well, she now decided that she wants to coach as well. So Carrie Armstrong is having some magic sauce, and she's got 2 new coaches that have joined her. And then Dawn and Kelly have a new coach that joined him as well. And I'm curious, is she still here? No, I know she's traveling. But Cassandra, I would love to actually hear from you just a little bit about what was the thing that took you over the edge and you decided, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it for reals. What do you think took you over the edge? Oh, there you go. You're unmuted now.
We both clicked unmute at the same time.
Yeah. Tag.
I don't, I was just, I don't know, probably the scholarship is what really did it for me.
Mhm.
Because kind of debating and going back and forth, like, should I do it? Should I not? Like, I
Mhm.
don't know. And then with that, I was like, okay, why not? Let's just go for it
Mhm.
and just try
Mhm.
it.
Great. That's great. Thank you. One of the things we have is some scholarships that we're running for new clients and coaches and things like that for the month of March. And one of the neat things about it is once someone comes on board and says, I'd like to help some people, we will teach you the steps to take. You decide the pace at which you want to take those steps. We don't push you or pull you or do anything like that. We just help you see your goal, and then we show you the steps you need to take. And if you want to run, we'll run with you. If you want to walk or crawl, we'll walk or crawl with you. If you want to sprint, we'll sprint with you, right? That was what Irving did. I had a hard time keeping up with him, actually, but that was fun. So we don't mind sprinting. That's for sure. One of the neat things about really leaning into it and taking some massive action is you have something called momentum. And if you've ever pushed a car, once it's moving, it's easier to keep it going than it is to get it started again. And so one thing you have about momentum and actually leaning into it, really getting after it, is that you build momentum. And the other thing you build is people's lives start changing around you. And it is awesome. It is so much fun to help pay it forward and help other people. So there's a few people that have joined us. So welcome to the new folks. Next up, we have new senior coaches. So Adriana Rios, she's reached senior coach last month for the first time, and so did Trisha. And so that is super exciting. That means they've helped those first 5 people, and they had $1,200 in frontline volume. Adriana was able to do that. Man, she was fighting so hard. She wanted that bonus. If you are able to help 5 people in the first 30 days, not calendar days. If you start on the 15th, then you have till the 14th. It depends, I guess, on how many days are in each month. But you have 30 calendar days to develop those first 5 clients. And Adriana was able to hit her client acquisition bonus. Does anybody know, any of your new coaches, does anybody know the benefit of becoming achieving your CAB? Does anybody know you get a bonus? There's money involved. Who wants to know? Adriana knows. So what you get when you hit your CAB, which means you help 5 people in the first 30 days. First thing, that's the most important thing. I already talked about that. It's the momentum, right? Momentum is you have 5. Imagine if you were going to learn to tie your shoes and you tied them once every month. How long would it take you to become proficient at tying your shoes? Probably a while, right? But if you tied them once a day for 30 days, you got it. You never need to learn it again. And Don Carpenter, would you tell us what the other bonuses that you get for hitting your CAB? I unmuted you already.
Thank you. Yeah, if you hit your CAB, you get a $100 bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a nice, sweet little extra bump in your first paycheck.
Who else gets a $100 bonus?
Your mentor coach gets a $100 bonus as well.
Yep. So when you
it's
run, the reason why they pay you an extra $100 is they want to incentivize that, because Optavia knows that momentum is really, really valuable. So they give you an extra $100, and they also know that it's going to be a lot of work for your mentor coach. So they give your mentor coach an extra $100 for their extra work, right? So a brand new coach, does anybody know how a brand new coach that hits their CAB and goes senior coach, how much you will make your first month, roughly? Anybody want to take a stab? 600, 700, 4, yeah, 5, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's about $450, because normally it's about $350 plus your bonus of $100. so about $450. And if you think about that, it costs $200 to enroll as a coach. $200 in, $450 you earn. I'm pretty sure you more than doubled your money. I don't know about you, of too many businesses where you double your money your first month. Right? So it's pretty great. So, all right. Any questions as far as that goes? Nope, pretty clear. All right, we got a few more things we want to celebrate here. Let me jump back into the show, the slideshow, that is. And then we've got a couple people that are manager. So we all know what manager means, right? It's where you have 2,400 in frontline volume, or you're a senior coach with a senior coach. And so Cassina Jones went to manager. She, I think January was her first month hitting senior coach. And then now in March, she moved to manager. So she is on the run. And the lovely Christina Smith. She's been around. You've been seeing her for a while, and she's been working on some different skills, building skills, growing, and things like that. I'm actually quite curious to bring Christina. Do you have maybe just in a short minute or so some of the things that needed to change in order for you to grow to manager?
So I'm running errands, but I'm here going through doors now. Okay, so some of the things that I learned between hitting senior coach like 2 months in a row and then not hitting senior coach for a month and then 2 months in a row again and going back and forth, I was fighting it. And then I just said, I'm not even fighting rank. I'm fighting myself. And so I fought myself so hard, and I was like, didn't want to be uncomfortable. And so this last month I was like, oh, there's a incentive. Okay. So I posted, I was $38 away from being manager. And I was like, oh, I am not going to take this lying down, And so I just posted on my Facebook, and I'm like, you got 24 hours. Tell me who wants this scholarship. And so I got 2 clients out of that one. So now I have like 9 clients and like 1 part-time client, but like when that happened, I wanted to like call everybody and be like, I hit manager. Like I wanted to like have a party, Yeah. And so I posted it on the group, and then I just had to stare at it for a second because I was so excited, and I was like, ooh, let's try for associate director next month, And so I was filling out my map today, and I was like, Christina, you either get you a senior coach or you get you a couple more clients. And so I'm like excited, and I'm being more diligent. And at the same time, I started a Facebook group, messenger group for people that are interested in partnering with me in the 333s. And so if you want to get added to it, I would love to be on a team. And it doesn't matter where you're from. We're all on Team Blanchette. So, it's not like we're any different, but, anybody's welcome if they're interested. So Thank you.
You're welcome. So one of the things Christine and I have been working on is just the consistency. And I said, I'm more consistent when other people show up. Like for workouts, who's had a workout buddy, right? And if you don't have a workout buddy, what do? You don't really feel like it this morning. But if you got a workout buddy showing up, you show up, right? So let's figure this out, how we can have health coach buddies, and we can do 333 buddies and do those things that make a difference and all that kind of stuff. All right. So next up, the last slide I have here is we've got certifications. Sharon Green, who's part of Dawn, Carrie, Dawn Hurst, and down that line with the Riches. And she's growing. She actually hit a frontline volume new record, and she was around 3,100 in frontline volume, and then she got certified. So congratulations to Sharon Green. Now we have the $8,000 to $10,000 club. So this is sort of when you're running a frontline volume between $8,000 and $10,000, you have, $6,000 in frontline volume is around 18 clients, 17 clients. So if you're up in the, and that's an executive director. So when you move up to 8,000, you're running a little bit more than the minimums, right? And so we've got a couple people that are part of this. Carrie Armstrong and Kim, many of you know Kim Stewart, are in the 8 to 10,000, 8K club is what we call them. And then we have the 10K club. Dun, dun, dun. So this is $10,000 or more in frontline volume. And Daniela Carilli, you know her. And we have Don Carpenter. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So Kelly and Don Carpenter have been killing it with now that they decided to get rid of their other job and go full time with health coaching. So pretty exciting stuff happening here on our team. And I want to congratulate all of you guys for showing up. I know Rita and I, we did some connecting and pushed for on the last couple days and got you to senior coach, which was fun. It's fun when you work with people that want to actually move forward and grow. So anyway, that's any questions about ranks or about any of those kinds of things we just talked about. By the way, when you're certified, you make another 3%. So that's a direct connection to the value of being certified. You also have some knowledge from out of the habits of health, and so you become more advanced coach by becoming certified. So, yep, excellent. All right. Well, I am going to toss this back over to Dawn. Where are we going from here, Dawn?
Well, do we have a little bit of time, Craig?
Do we got a little bit of time? We brought probably 5 max.
About 5 max. Okay, so just going to pass on an action step for next week. So I'd like to encourage you to continue to reach out and just connect and care with people. And be on the lookout for, well, Craig called them wows. So wins of the week. So be on the lookout for those, whether it's something exciting that happens with a client, whether it's a connection that you make, whether it's something personal in your own health journey. So be on the lookout for celebrating you and other people and continue to do just an awesome job of connecting with others. I think that's really what we do most of. So, all right.
There was something that one of the folks on the leadership call said. They said, if you don't do it afraid, you probably won't do it at all. Right? And I thought about that for a minute. So what if I'm afraid? It's not like I'm at the top of the, Eiffel Tower and someone's about to push me off. That's what really being afraid is, right? Or in an airplane that's on fire. That's real fear, right? Talking to somebody about becoming healthier and partnering up with them, you're afraid. But if you don't do it afraid, it won't happen. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't happen, then you won't get to experience the joy of helping other people. And if you don't want to experience the joy of helping people, you don't have to coach. Actually, probably can, if you don't want to coach, you probably find some better things to do with your time. But you guys all decided you wanted to do this. And so let's figure out how we can make good connections with people and connect with them and talk. Christina, you raised your hand. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so something that I said to fear this last week was the same thing that I would say to a piece of cake or something. It's just cake. It's just fear. It's no big deal. It's just fear. Because when I took the weight off of it, it made it a whole lot easier to pull myself together, so.
Thank you for that. That's great.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else have any sort of words of encouragement? Or maybe you need some words of encouragement. Something's in your way. If you want to toss out here to us. We got 2 minutes left. Nobody's afraid here. Okay. All right. Jose, you're up.
Fear.
Fear? You're afraid of fear?
I have to, when I'm with you guys, I'm cool. I'm strong. It's when I'm by myself is when I hesitate about reaching out to others. But
So-
just throwing that out there.
So let me ask a couple questions. So we're in the desert, and you can see that my tongue's dry. I'm just hurting. I'm sweating, and you've got water. Are you afraid to come ask me if I need some water?
No?
Why? I mean, seriously, actually, why wouldn't you be afraid to offer me water if I made it very obvious, or you knew that I was really thirsty?
I'm looking at it two different ways. Maybe I should look at it the same way. But the way I'm looking at it right now, Craig, is in my past experience in the physical realm as a soldier, and I see you thirsty, as a whole different ball of wax. But I should be able to see it the same way.
Yeah. Well, and if you think about it, I've done this. I went out and I said, are you as healthy as you want to be? It's an interesting question. I dare you to ask somebody, are you as healthy as you wish you were? I bet you they will say no. 100% of the people you talk to will say no. They may say, what do you mean? Well, in the financial world, in the mental world, or in the physical world, and you're in those three areas of your life, are you as healthy as you want to be? I bet you they'll say no. Tell me more about that. I know that was crazy, weird, but I wonder if we could all just say, are you as healthy as you want to be? No, tell me more about that. And then there, all of a sudden, you're just right there talking about things that if not you by yourself, you with your mentor can kill it, can totally bring the goods. Totally. You with Optavia in your backpack and your mentor beside you, you can help anybody. You can. If you don't think you can, I'm telling you, you can. Right? And so you go up to people and you're like, oh, you're not as healthy as I am? Neither am I. I don't know about you, but I'm not. Anybody here as healthy as they want to be? No? Okay. And so the reality is I'm going out to find other people that want to work on this together, and I'm not going to quit. And that's as simple as it is for me. Just going to keep doing it. What are you thinking, Tricia? What do you think about this idea? 1 minute.
I think you come at it with a whole new perspective, because I'm kind of like Jose. Like when I'm talking to people I know, I'm totally fine with it. Like when I'm around the people I'm with, they all know what I'm doing. I can talk to them about it at all. But when it comes to people I don't know, or people I don't know as well, or maybe associates I had in way back when, I feel the same way. I'm like, how do I approach this? What do I do? I think Facebook is a really good tool. I use it a lot because it's not necessarily in person. You know what I mean? So I think everything you said makes a ton of sense. And you're right. Fear is just that. It's just fear. And I would have no problem offering somebody water, a stranger or not, and it should be the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So do it afraid. And like Dawn said, look for wins of the week. Look for people that are looking for something a little better. Maybe they have a big success and celebrate with them. Or maybe they have something that's just not quite as good as they wish it was. Oh, they came up a little bit short. Right? And say, tell me more about that. Ask them, are you, just as a survey, this is, so just so it's totally authentic, I'm asking each one of you to at least ask one person this week if they're as healthy as they want to be. So now you can go up to anybody and say, one of my business partner gave me an assignment this week to go and talk to somebody and ask him this question, because he was I was wondering what people would say. So I just gave you an assignment, and then you can go do that simple assignment. Ask someone. I'd be really curious to see what they say. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll know what they say, and then just say, well, tell me a little bit more about that, because me too, right? I'm working on my health. I still got some stuff I'm working on. All right, guys. So we will see you then next week here. Did I miss anything with the assignment there? I just kind of added a little tweak to it there, Dawn. We good? Awesome.
Yep. We're good.
Okay, you guys. Do it afraid or it won't get done.
Copy.
Okay, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Craig.
Bye-bye.